Never underestimate them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, never underestimate them.
Made for people of my stature.
Yes.
That's where I have the issue.
You know what, Dylan? The movie, one of the great movies of all time, is called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. If dwarf actors in Hollywood are not picked to play those roles, I don't know what roles you're supposed to be playing. It's unbelievably patronizing that they've done this under the banner of so-called progression.
And it's not, again, like I said, these dwarves in that movie or in this story aren't viewed poorly, I don't believe. No. They're all separate characters that are actually heroes for this lady.
Yes.
And they take care and they take this lady in.
They save her.
Viewed so well to society.
Oh, he is.
They save the woman.
Now
they're hardworking. They're wealthy. They are kind.
I don't know if you saw the whole thing,
generous-hearted.
Andrew, but yeah.
Only partially,
but just beating the shit out of this guy.
You guys absolutely were right about the Neil Patrick Harris, the gay roles. I mean, there's so many. It's innumerable. You know, the amount of people that are openly
most
gay.
actors don't want it known, right? Like that's the whole point.
Yeah, back in the day, nobody cared. Like, so it wasn't a thing.
And if you look at the percentage, I mean, once again, gay, if you talk about LGBTQ, whatever, even if that is upwards of 10%, which I think is the highest estimate in the American population, which I think is an overestimation, but let's say it's 10%. They're wildly overrepresented in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
As a percentage.
Well,
yeah, and Netflix actually did a study on that. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is something, and they're kind of bringing up here that they're also missing, is it totally changing the dwarfs totally changes the story to a degree, because like WDW Pro has brought this up several times, and he's right. How the dwarfs are there for her as like the safe option. Like she's in the kind of a dangerous situation, and the dwarfs are safe for this character and what she's going through. It's kind of creepy to think about a young teenage girl going to hang out with 7 random dudes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of changes the story.
I saw that movie on Pornhub.
Exactly. It's not the same movie.
No, it's not the same movie at all, because but what they're also doing though is because of the last clips we watched, it's not just the dwarves they're taking away, they're actually also taking another role away, which is the straight white male or whatever, like the the regular size human that's a man that's supposed to be the prince. So that is already gone as well, because she can't be rescued by a man anymore. Like he can't kiss. I wonder if they're gonna make it gay, where it's gonna be a woman that kisses her away. Like, is there even gonna be a kiss that kisses away? Like, is there gonna be a kiss?
Ultimate
I doubt it.
I doubt it, because the way they said the story was going to be if you saw that interview with Gal Gadot and Richard.
Yeah, we watched that before earlier. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to put any of that in there.
Carrie, what were you going to say?
Oh, I just said Ultimate 2023 would be her kissing herself.
Oh my God.
Or wait, no, wait, Carrie, you're wrong. It would be him passed out and dead, and her kiss wakes him up.
No,
so it's reversed.
No.
She's the powerful one.
It's self-love.
No.
It's self-love. I agree.
She'll flick the bean. You're right.
It'll be just like the Emma Watson "I'm marrying myself" thing. And what will happen is the dwarf will take a mirror and just hold it over her, and then she'll just kiss herself, and then that's it. It'll be like,
she'll kiss the magic mirror. You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
But she kisses the magic mirror. That's right.
There's already a mirror there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone even looked? Is there a prince cast for this movie?
He's not a prince anymore. He's just the leader of the bandits. What? That was that dude in that. Remember when we saw that?
Wait, you mean the huntsman?
What?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's no prince anymore. It's because Prince Charming has now become Prince Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever, that guy in the pictures we saw, in the video we saw.
Well, they've got to make him into a villain, because that's how they've been turning everything. It's like the prince is now the villain.
Well, you guys were just saying they have changed the story so much. This is the funny part, right? Because the problem with all the other ones you brought up before, especially once we get down to Little Mermaid and Lion King, right? Like, they're almost shot for shot, beat for beat remakes of the original animated films, except for the stuff that's added into them, right? They have come to a point with Snow White now where it is so far from the mothership that why don't they just decide? Well, I don't understand why they just didn't decide to make something completely different and on its own.
I don't know, but we know there's going to be a huntsman in it, and he's black.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
so
it is.
well, yeah, there's always a huntsman too, but like there's the Prince Charming and Huntsman
Where's
are two different
Prince?
characters. Yeah,
So the
I don't know who
huntsman-
Jonathan is.
That's probably the
that's
Probably
Prince
the
Charming.
Ken
prince
doll
character, yeah, who's
like not a prince.
So
But the huntsman's the one who doesn't kill her at the
Yes.
witch's.
That's
you know,
yes, that's the
request.
huntsman.
and Gal Gadot just will be like ultimately revealed as not that evil, like having justifiable moral because they have to like repair all of the villains, right? So
Yes.
Oh
Gal
my god.
Gadot will give the same speech that what's her face America Ferrera gave to Andy Barbie.
No, not another 4.5
Yes.
minutes of that.
yes.
Oh my god. What a gong show. Okay, wait.
Oh,
back
Lord.
to this video.
Yeah, there's not much left of it. He's pretty much down for the count now.
Yeah. Hang on one sec. Here we go.
It's hard to think of a more positive
And so to go,
narrative about any people
go-
at all.
Well, let's just go back to the 1930s, Piers. I think you'd be happy.
You know
there.
what, James?
Blackface would exist.
No,
It's not-
no, it's not
about-
blackface.
James,
It's not
James,
blackface.
about
And what you're now doing-
1940.
So now he's just deflecting to the whole you might as well live in the 1930s shit.
Wait,
Yeah.
hang on.
Hyperbolic argument. Yeah.
What were you saying? Somebody was saying something.
Oh, I said he's just reverting now to the whole you might as well live in the 1930s argument,
Oh.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost an ad hominem attack, and it's actually how you know how somebody's lost a debate when they get into sort of like the ridiculous arguments where it's like a personal attack. That means he just can't argue the actual point.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's lost it.
Beginning to end, can't argue.
Guys,
You are
James,
against
you just
an
said-
argument that
James,
doesn't
hold
exist.
on,
You are.
guys.
We
Hold
agree
on,
with
please.
each other.
Please.
All right. You know what?
Ja-
You do agree with him
James,
now
but
because
you-
you realize
James,
the
you can't-
futility of your argument.
James, you can't go and go, oh, you got to go back to 1930s.
No.
James, if you agree with what I'm saying, you
I
can't
agree with what
get
you're
on
saying. I
Pierce's
don't agree
case
with
and say-
anything that Piers.
Yeah, here's the thing, Dylan. Dylan, just to
He
be
said he
clear.
lived-
And
But
there's
they're
the
saying
rub.
the same thing. So
And there's the rub. Exactly. Like that's where you guys were saying this at the beginning. Like his woke brain
yeah.
cannot wrap
Yes.
himself around to agree with Dylan's point, because if he does that, he retroactively is agreeing with Pierce.
Agreeing with Pierce.
So he's trying to find some way to circumvent that.
Yep.
It's the
Carrie,
that's
go ahead.
Trying real hard, man. It's like when a cat gets stuck in a box and they're just like really trying to get out, and it's like it just looks ridiculous. Like that's what this guy's doing. He's
Carrie was
trying.
about to pull out the old.
I couldn't remember at the beginning what that particular fallacy was, where he's like, if you agree with Pierce, then you're wrong. But it's genetic
That's the first thing
fallacy.
he said. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's where it's like, oh, the origin, like the genesis of where the argument comes from is what makes it wrong. So because Pierce said it or Pierce agrees with you, then it's absolutely wrong. It's
Nope,
just-
yep.
That's
Because-
not the way arguments work.
But it's the way the woke argument works because they demonize the individual. So they demonize, they say, okay, well, Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, whoever the
Donald
evil
Trump.
person is, Donald Trump, they agree with this. Therefore, we must be against it. Donald Trump was actually the best example because whatever he did, the Democratic Party had to be fully against, which is actually why you saw a lot of policies subvert, where the Democratic Party wasn't against things or actually they were supporting things and they flipped, right? That's actually where they flipped to being like pro-war. Because it's in
Yeah.
a weird way,
Well, that's-
Donald Trump was kind of anti-war. So it's like, all right, now we're pro-war. And it's like, oh, okay.
But that's just because they're the neocons now. But
Right.
I always say, like the if the Democrats or if Donald Trump had come out, let's say, like completely for masks, like he would
Yeah,
have been like,
right.
yeah, you got to mask up, like you
I
gotta
said
fucking
that
save
too, Nina.
lives.
Yes.
The same thing too early on, like with the woke stuff, because I made the same point. Because I remember a lot of people turned Ghostbusters, if you remember the 2016 film, into a political thing because Trump come out and said, you know, what is going on with the world now? And I can't remember what he said up first. He's got something else going on, and we got girls as Ghostbusters now. What is all this about? Now, if he would have just said, no, I embrace girls as Ghostbusters. In fact, we need more of this stuff. Make all the men characters women. Then we wouldn't even be here in this place right now.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you hadn't said everything woke goes to shit, like if he had been like woke is great, we all need to get
Yeah,
behind
that was the speech,
Woke
yeah.
is great. Let's go woke all the way. We need more progressive.
We need to fully embrace this, fully embrace it.
Literally just said what
Yeah,
I said, James.
Dylan, just to be clear, he doesn't agree when I say it, but when you say it, he agrees.
Because you're not
And
a
that,
dwarf.
that right now, I'm not a dwarf,
Yeah.
no. But that right there is the hypocrisy of the woke brigade. Dylan,
Okay, so let me
just say,
I
Dylan,
love
I've got to let
Pierce
you
is
off.
getting like
Quickly,
slightly
please.
more
Pierce,
based.
quickly.
Final word, Dylan.
What?
Like Piers is like slowly over time, like getting slightly more basic.
He has been, yeah.
He has been, because you can't, like, he's an older dude. Like on some level, you like, he's lived long enough to see so many different stupid things, and now he's probably like, the fuck, man. Like, this is the same thing that's happening to Bill Maher, because Bill Maher used to be like completely liberal as well, but he's he's just a regular liberal. Like, he's not like, my God, what happened? Like,
he's a guy. He's a guy that we could have a debate with on policy and like be like, hey, we agree to disagree, right? Hey, you want socialized medicine, and hey, we think that's retarded, but hey, we agree to disagree on stuff, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, he's a straight white male, and that puts him in the enemy category for the woke brigade.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Pierce wrote James. James, let me ask you this: so if a writer writes a piece on what I'm saying, is it wrong of them? Because essentially, that's the same as the words coming out of my mouth.
What? Yeah, but you're not saying that I am a woke hypocrite and Piers is, and that's what I disagree with. Because I'm absolutely not.
But you are.
Now he's shifting the argument.
So when I'm saying I agree with you.
See, and this is where I think Dylan here failed, because he should have been like, actually, I think you're an idiot. Yeah, actually, I am saying that.
Well, he's trying to take the high road. And he's like, and this is the problem, is he took this. What I hate about this, and I don't know what you would attribute this to, Carrie or Andrew, in your assessment, but like what he's doing is he's basically, it was supposed to be Dylan's moment to have the final word, right? But instead what he has now is deflated that and made it, again, twisted it around about like, oh, I didn't say that. And Dylan can't say, well, of course I never said those things, because I didn't call you woke and all that kind of business. That's true. So he's kind of giving him, what is this argument called, where it's like, he's trying to make him validate the fact that he wasn't being villainous towards him, but the other guy was in the process of. I don't know if how would you word that in an argument? I'm trying to. You know what I'm talking about, Andrew, because you see this in court. Yeah.
There's a name for it though, and it's slipping me right now. It's still 8 in the morning, so I'm not.
It's not quite ad hominem like the other stuff is, though.
Yeah, ad hominem's a personal attack. It's not a straw man or a steel man.
But it's like more.
Is it gaslighting? I don't know.
But he's trying to get him to defend him. Is that what you're saying? Like, to say you're not those things?
In a way, yeah, because what he's doing in a roundabout way is making Pierce guilty in the matter, because Dylan is innocent of not calling him all these names, right? Even though Pierce did.
Right. People say Chewbacca defense.
It's like a guilt by association, but it's reverse guilt by association is kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I was thinking gaslighting too, but I wasn't sure. Like, I'm like,
that's not like
gaslighting, but
I don't like using that as like a technique, an argument technique that's like successful. But yeah, no,
it's not quite gaslighting in this point though, because it's not like
it's called being a bitch. I like that from Nick.
It's called being a bitch. There you go. Nick S, you're right. It's called being a little bitch.
There you go.
Oh my God, there we go. That's good.
He's a person of
gayness. You're not
gayness.
saying that I am a woke hypocrite and Piers is, and that's what I disagree with, because I'm absolutely not. So when I'm saying that I agree with you, it's nothing to do with your.
We're going to leave it there. Just to be clear, Dylan, he disagrees with what I say, but when you say exactly the same thing, he completely agrees with you. And that's annoying. James Barr, right to a T. Dylan,
nonsense.
Fantastic having you on Piers Morgan Uncensored. You did.
But then he went and took away Dylan's moment for a final word. There was the part.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. Did they say anything else? I don't.
Nah, it's pretty much the wrap up there. I mean, there's a little bit to it, but I mean, we've seen.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
He's awful. I found him on Twitter. He does say he's a comedian, but I only heard the one attempted punchline.
Yeah,
and he said it like 2 times.
I think it's a cope. It's the comedy thing is a cope to put it on the shield. Oh, I'm just joking, right? It's like, okay, well, no,
Mm-hmm.
This video has been a clip of a previous live stream, and it's clipped so you can get the information in a shorter, compact package, the information you need. If you want the full video, the whole context, the whole thing, you can check out the full stream. That is in the link below. Check that out, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.